I am profoundly grateful, aware, and satisfied with how well your agency, with Sharon and Mitch and Lori and everybody else that was involved, got this done. I know it was not easy. I know that the last year in general has not been terribly easy for the department. But I will tell you, having been out in places that are receiving some of these grants, some of these places that did not, but now know more than they did and are looking forward to resubmitting, in talking with students who maybe had access to resources but didn't know it, but now know it because of the outreach that 143 and other efforts have done, that it is far exceeding everything I had ever hoped it would do. Again, when we talked about this during the last legislature, the goal of these grants was to be basically pathfinders, pilot programs to see what worked and what didn't, so we didn't put too much money in something that didn't work, but when it does work, spin it off, to use your phrase, and find a way to pay for it. I anticipate not only supporting the requests that you have, but trying to increase the amount of money for that, so instead of $550, perhaps closer to $2 million or $3 million. On the campus veterans program, not just supporting that, but also perhaps looking at a similar partnership under different ways to encourage universities and colleges to assist with the availability of VSOs. Some counties are doing that. Some counties may not be able to do that as easily. But I'm just truly grateful for what work has been done in such a short amount of time. Now, here's the bad news. We're going to try to do more. So the success and reward of great work is more work, but you have already met and exceeded the requirements that the Speaker and the President of the Senate put down, and a certain Senator Betsy Johnson put down, as far as showcasing where the money can be used effectively, so when we go back for more, we have a story to tell. So I just am truly grateful for what you've done. And I see this as a beginning of, as you would say, getting more bang for your buck and being good stewards. I would encourage you, and again, a message for the new director and your advisory committee and council. We had hoped that they would be involved in this process, and I'm grateful that at least one member or two or three were involved in every piece. The more you can utilize and optimize that advisory commission, I think, because of the geographic and age differential that are present on that, the more you and the advisory commission can work together, I think we can carry much more ground and get much more accomplished. And I'm also happy that I know that was not, at least when we were putting this legislation together, they weren't all necessarily excited about being as involved in some of those things because it's a time requirement, but it really, I think, matters. And I think the quality is in the outcome. So thank you for all of those things. One thing I want to raise, yes, go ahead.
Oh, I'll wait till you finish.
Okay.
Sorry.
One thing I do want to raise is on the existing grants for county VSOs. I'm aware that there was a little bit of a stutter step in one of the counties as far as whether they were going to be funding that or not. I think that was handled appropriately. I think Representative Helfrich probably had something to do with that. I'm glad he made whatever steps were necessary. But with AOC in the room, I want to be very clear. We can only be successful when the counties utilize the funds we provide and the time limits we provide them. It would be very difficult to be asking for more money if certain programs were not fully implemented at the time we were asking for money. So in the most robust, polite, and clear way, those that have an ability to communicate to the counties that they meet their requirements and help serve more veterans, we're a willing partner to try to help them. But we need to make sure that they get their stuff done too. Questions?
I just had a question, and you may or may not know because the people change, but does anybody know what's happened with Sergeant Benjamin Heyer? Because he was the one, I think, who first brought up the campus veterans service officer way back.
I see him on Facebook all the time. He seems to be happy.
Okay, is he still doing it?
I think he's in a different career right now.
Okay.
Representative Boone, I've lost track of him. I haven't heard from him in a while.
He went to work as a veterans person in one of the congressional offices at one point, and then I think he went in the private sector, I think.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Facebook is sometimes dated, but